Hi everyone, and thanks so much for joining me in this webinar about love, intimacy, and sensuality. You can have it all. My name is Eugina and I've been working in the area of pleasure, intimacy, sensuality, sexuality, and relationships for the past 3 years, maybe a little longer. And I'm really passionate about creating long lasting connections and joy and love that feels good. Um, I am very passionate about giving people simple tools about how to create those kind of relationships uh, in their lives, and because I believe it doesn't have to be complicated, but most of the time we make it complicated, right? So I actually would love this webinar to be as interactive as possible. So welcome everyone who is coming, who is joining us. Um, I would absolutely love for you to share where you're tuning in from. It's just like, just to see how widely international our group is here today. So I'm here in Bali right now. I know that there will be a lot of people from Europe. I know that there are people from Saudi Arabia. And yeah, I'm just wondering from where else. World is a big place, and it's like, nevertheless, what is happening in the world, we still can be together here. So online is amazing. So I can see people are from London, UK, Saudi Arabia. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. And welcome, everybody. So a little bit about myself, so you know who is presenting to you today and why am I doing this work. Well, my name is Eugina, as I said, and I come from Latvia. And I always been looking for love in my life, and somehow I could never find it. I always would sabotage myself on the way, like whether I was in relationships or not, somehow they would all end up in disaster. And I'm talking about violence, emotional violence, abuse, and this kind of thing. So um, at one point, I just looked back at my relationships and just realized, oh my God, all of them look somewhat the same. There was different people involved, of course, different bodies, but like the majority of those relationships are pretty much the same. It's like I was dating the same person in a different body. And when I started looking deeper into that, because all I wanted was to love and to be loved, right? And it didn't make sense to me how it's not happening. So I started looking back and I started actually exploring more and more and more on what actually is not working. And when I then realized, all right, so cannot see me, hear me properly. You know what? That's right, I have music to open a heart chakra. So thanks for letting me know. I can see we have got Elisa from Canada. Right. Can you hear me now? Please let me know if you can hear me all right. Yeah, all awesome. So, right. So I was really like wondering around about life and just like really wondering how come people around me having beautiful relationships and I cannot do this. And then I started exploring that actually I wasn't on my own. There was so many people who were struggling with the same things. So I started looking more into that. So what happened? My father have died, and that actually brought a lot of emotions in me, where I was able to really have a look at myself and what was holding me back. And what actually that opened up was that I realized that I was dating my father, like, or people who represent my father for all of my life. And then I was wondering why my relationships didn't work, because my parents actually was in a very violent relationships. They were alcoholics and very abusive towards each other and myself. So I kind of started modeling them. So along so I started really paying a lot of attention to healing that part of myself, healing the childhood trauma that I have had, and really started creating more sustainable relationships where I learned to communicate my desires, where I have learned to express myself, where I have attended to my inner self, to my core beliefs. And I will actually be sharing of my methods that I use not only with myself, but also with my private clients and my group clients. So what happened was I've along the way of healing myself, I acquired so many tools and so many skills that every time when I would talk to people, and people would be like, oh my God, this is so useful. This have really helped me. This have really helped my life. And, you know, somehow I have transitioned into doing this for a living. And now I've been coaching people for the past 3 years full time, and supporting people in their incredible relationships and creating the incredible relationships. Some of the people come to me when they absolutely uh, do not see. I'm just like getting distracted by them by the comments here. So T says, I don't see all participant chat. Is everybody like me? Um, I think it should be available as it's for all panelists, for all, okay, for all attendees it has to be. Okay, like this. Okay, I think you should be seeing each other's chat right now. So you can see where is you see all panelists when you make in the chat. You need to do it for all panelists and attendees so you can see each other's chat. Okay, amazing. Hi Felice, hi Matt, Nikki. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited. So right, and yeah, so why am I doing this webinar right now? Is because the real and true value of like currently and effectively it has been a real value for all of our lives, times in time, like all the time, but we just learning to realize how really important human connection is. Like that real value and real currency right now is the love, connection, and intimacy, right? Because all of that want that. Like all of us want that. We were created into this world to create, to be connected with one another. It's like, think about this, when the babies are born, if you don't cuddle baby, if you don't give a baby love and connection, the baby gonna die. No matter how good you feed the baby gonna die, because we were created for love and connection. Right, so this is why I'm so passionate about this, right? Because like we learn along the way all the things that are actually keep us further and further away from something that we really want. And I'm taking a stand in the world to give people tools so that they can use the simple, not always easy tools, where they can actually change their relationships, you know, whether you are in the relationships already or whether you want to be in a romantic relationship. I'm using the same tools for all of my clients and they seem to be working absolutely incredibly. So I'll give you an example of I have been working with somebody who came to me, and this client had a deep fear of dying alone, like it was surreal. So he was recovering alcoholic, could hardly, um, maintain his emotional wellness, because there was a really deep and big fear of dying alone. So he didn't believe that relationships are even possible for him. So 9 months working together, and like, trust me, this guy have showed up every week. He did exactly what we was talking about. He used all the tools, he used everything that I have shared with him. And 7 months later, he actually met woman of his dreams. Now they're planning to get married. So I have worked with people in relationships who have got a very um, not even like disconnected relationships. People have been like on the verge of separating, and I've been working with this woman who just decided to give it a last shot before separating with her husband, because she felt like he cannot give her what um, what she needs, And she came to me and she said, "It's like, hey, listen, I just want better sex. I want an amazing sex with my husband, and it doesn't seem like he can give it to me." And when we started working together, that was her problem. Uh, 3 months later, she is having the best relationships of her life, not only with her husband, where she can emotionally rely on him and he can emotionally support her, but also where her relationships with her kids and her family have improved dramatically. So why am I saying all of this? I'm saying all of this because, I want to really bring to your attention that no matter where you are in life, our relationships actually shape in our relationship with ourselves, or other way around, right? So it all starts with us. So no matter are you single or in relationships, but if you want to improve the quality of your relationships, you're in the right place right now. So tell me, who here would love to improve the quality of their relationships, especially romantic relationships? Please comment yes in the chat box. Yes, I can see yeses are coming. Yes, yes, yes. Who doesn't need a relationship first? Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Uh-huh. Yes, 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 yes. This is incredible. Oh, thank you so much. And this is amazing, because you know that this is a great place to be, because you know where to start. I want to improve quality of my relationships. I want more love, more intimacy, more sensuality, more self-expression. It's like everything that you want is available to us. But Sam says, I'm ready. Yay, incredible. So this is a great place to be, because many people, they actually struggle through life not knowing actually that something is not working, thinking that, oh my god, it's like this is just the way it is. And I don't know if you can relate, but all my life I've been called a dreamer for wanting something out of ordinary, where in my understanding it's pretty simple. I want to love, I want to be loved, I want to be understood, and I want to have a fucking amazing sex. Is this like too much to ask from the relationship? In my books, it's a no. So, like, this is what I want, and I don't settle for anything less than that. So, and this is what I'm teaching my clients also, not settling for anything less than what they want. And in fact, being open to something even bigger and better for themselves, because, it's all possible. So let me see. I have here some notes that when we are completely like, okay, I've been talking and I've been in this field for quite a while. And what are the side effects when your relationships are not working? What are the side effects when your relationships are actually bringing you pain, not joy? Whether you are in committed relationships already or you are looking for relationships. So, an indication that your relationships don't work would be that lack of connection, lots of fears coming up. And lots of fears would be coming up even when you're in the relationship, but when you cannot actually resolve those fears. So, lack of vitality, um, lack of sex, and this is actually a big one. So, it's like what we form resentment. And how it works that when we all try to express ourselves and cannot, and we feel misheard or misunderstood, it causes resentment to come up. So we've been like rejected once in our self-expression, rejected twice, and then for the most of the cases, like third time is not existent, because you just decide for yourself, hey, listen, that this is actually not for me. So I've been talking to one of my clients this morning, and what she said, she just kept complaining. It's like when we started working together, she was overcoming a grief of her mother passing away, and she was in a 10-year relationship, sexless relationship, with with a man who is the father of her child right now. And she just kept complaining about him all the time, like that he's not this and not that. And it has been really hard for her. So after working together, it's like after 5 sessions, so she actually met somebody else, and now they live together for already like over a year, I believe. And now she has like similar problems came up, because like she's been avoiding paying attention um, to some of the red flags that she have been experiencing before. So, so the complaints are most of the time resentment is like, hey, he doesn't want to listen to me. He doesn't want to show me affection. He doesn't want this. So we go into blame, and this is like a really standard place to be. It's like, hey, he's this, he's that, blah 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 blah. But actually what happens that we forget to have a look inside. What is happening inside of us? How do we create all of these situations? Why is it there? How is it showing up? So I'm currently running this 3-week intensive, and we're on the second week now, where I teach my participants, who actually some of you are here, and thanks so much for being here. So it's called three secrets to fulfilling relationships. And the first secret is where you go deeply into your story and what is holding you back. Because, our mind is actually locked up about relationships and the way of we relating with our loved ones before the age of 5, because we observe our parents, we observe their interactions and what happens, and how they are interacting with one another, and we make up our mind, because kids are like sponges. They really absorb really quickly how, like, what does it mean to be in a relationship, how does it work. We all do this before the age of 5. And actually you could be really surprised to have a look and uncover what comes up for you when you really going deep into that. And uh, once you resolve in this your childhood trauma, you become aware. And not saying that it's like, yeah, once you like resolved it, it's gonna disappear. No, it won't disappear right away, because when you are used to a certain way of being, especially a certain way of interacting, then it is your comfort zone. So it takes an awareness for you to actually allowing yourself to come out of the comfort zone and communicate and be in a different way and show up in a different way. Because, I keep on saying this over and over again, that one and only relationship that you will have is relationship with yourself till the rest of your life. The only one person you're gonna wake up every single morning with, that is yourself. That is yourself. And what happens? You better love that person. You better become your own best friend. Because what happens very often, that we are looking for validation from other people. And nothing is wrong with that, but it's just not very sustainable. We all want to be loved. We all want to have a connection in this world. However, when your decisions become dependent on how other people view you, you will never, ever, ever will be able to sustain that. Because, like, sooner or later somebody is not going to be in a good mood or bad, or will be in a bad mood or something like that. And when you come into them for validation, they just will not be able to give that to you. And what happens, it's such a hard place to be, because, like, even though we want to be liked, and what most of us are doing is we are so busy looking good and avoiding looking bad, that we actually forget about our truth and how to express ourselves truly. And this is another thing about love and intimacy and sensuality. There is no ego. So when you express yourself, when you express your truth, it is vulnerable. It is vulnerable. And sometimes, like, even up till this day, my heart is pounding when I'm expressing myself authentically. Sometimes I'm catching myself, oh my God, this is really, like, tough. This is really hard. But, especially asking for what you really want. Oh my God, asking, like, have you tried asking for what you really want? I will tell you that um, I've I've been, like, couple years back, I've been creating this um, man that I would love to date, right? And it was so incredible, and it was, like, so beautiful. And I created this list, and 10 days later, I've met a guy who is actually, like, spot on the list. And then he comes up to me, and we spent some time together. He came to one of my events, and he was like, hey, after a weekend together, he was like, hey, so are you my girlfriend now? I'm like, what? Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. It's like, and the first thing that happened is, like, so many fears came up. It's like, oh my God, but I don't want to hurt you, but I don't want to this, I don't want to do that, la la la. So, but the reality of the answer was, yes, I really want to be your girlfriend. But what happens is, like, asking for what you want is such a vulnerable thing, so that also when you receive what you want, and again, in love and intimacy and sensuality, receiving is one of the major things. Because we are, most of us, so good to give, like, yeah, take it, take it, take it. But when the time comes to receiving, it's like, oh, actually, I don't feel comfortable with that. Or actually, I don't feel that I deserve it. Or actually, I don't feel that I'm worthy of this. Or what if this is going to be taken away? So, one of my clients that I've worked with, she kept on attracting one and the same person over and over again. Like, she flew to Australia from Europe to be with this man, and She was meant to spend there like 3 months, but ended up leaving after 2 weeks because her relationships became so toxic. And every time, like when I spoke to her in the beginning of her relationships, that she was like, oh my God, he just like keeps saying this, keeps saying that, you know, and he like loves me, and like how much he cares about her and all of that. But what happens that there is a big doubt somewhere subconsciously. I don't know if I can trust you. I like, this is it. It's like we create the doubts in our system, in our belief system, and that actually is not allowing us to receive the truth, because somewhere deep down the, there are belief system that is like, no one ever treated me right, why this person would be different. And this what happens is like when people say nice things, you know, I remember even with myself when I broke off from my toxic relationships, um, I went to celebrate my friend's 40th. And I've met a guy, and he was like, oh my God, Eugina, you're so amazing. You look incredible. All of these nice things. And all I could think about it was, what do you want from me? What is the reason for you to say all of those nice things? You can't be just saying this. You must be wanting something from me. And when I say about receiving, and this is exactly what I mean, that in my mind then it didn't registered that a man could be interested in me because he likes me, because I am always looking for the reason behind that. It's like he must be wanting something from me, he must be really like onto something. And what happens that I used to create doubt in my consciousness, which would lead there. It's like, okay, so I cannot trust him, and when I cannot trust, I cannot relax, right? So my system is on guard. Oh my God, I'm having goosebumps. So if this resonates with you, please say so, you know. So my system is on guard. I'm like always like looking for, subconsciously, right, it's not conscious, I'm always looking where I can expect an attack from him, where I can, it's like, I cannot relax with you. I'm like, okay, what else you gonna say? Is this true? Is this not? Like always in an analytical state of mind. It's like, my God. And what is the worst thing that you can do in this moment is that you can just keep quiet about that. Because you know what? We've been educated that we have to be people pleaser, because you cannot talk about things like that. That it's like, if something goes on in your mind and you bring it up, this is not something you talk about. It's like, how can you confront your partner or lover or somebody you've seen? And it's like, what if they're gonna think that you're stupid, right? And it's like, what if they're gonna say that it's not true? But however, what you feel inside is so real, so real. And those doubts and those questioning and like not ability to trust essentially causes the resentment. So you losing your sex drive when you cannot trust, when you under stress, because like these kind of things, they cause you stress, right? I think like in my experience, when my love life is out of alignment, it has the impact on all the other areas of my life, because like our love life is our nourishment. This is somewhere where we meant to recharge, refill, and replenish ourselves. Our sensuality is given to us as the way of nourish ourselves, because our body, our mind, and our soul so wants to be nourished. And I can tell you now that it's like, very often, in so many cases, it actually becomes a source of um, suffering. Suffering. It's like Sam says, losing sex drive has been a big red flag many times. Right, right. So what happens in my past relationships, I have catched myself like now looking back what was happening, that going to bed in the evening, I would pray that my partner wouldn't touch me, and not really knowing what was causing it. So I was like, because actually on paper everything is perfect. He's a handsome guy. He's like, he says that he loves me. He like we have a nice home together. We have good friends together. Like everything is kind of going well. We have a cat. My God, we have a cat. This is serious, right? We are like in relationships on Facebook. Come on, this is serious stuff there. So, but what was happening actually deep down inside, I was deeply um, unhappy, and unhappy to the point that I started putting on weight, but like really rapidly putting on weight. Like within 6 months, I gained like 10 kilos, right? So I lost my sex drive and I got depressed. So I actually hit the rock bottom in this situation. So started building myself up, and I have realized that um, one thing that like I never had problems with having sex because I really love sex. I really love sex, and for me, not having sex in my relationships and like losing my sex drive has been a massive, massive alarm bell. What is going on? But then like I try to like convince my mind that everything is fine and this is what's supposed to be, that he is the one, right? Because you then try to rationalize things, because we never are taught to believe our emotions. Um, so Sam says the for sure, maybe super serious weight gain and depression, huge signs for me too. Yeah, absolutely. So what happens? I just found myself in this like incredibly like hopeless state. Like I'm sure that life is not about this. I'm sure that there is a true love out there. So it's like having the courage to leave and like against, because there is such a factors as cultural, and our surroundings, where like my culture, for example, I'm Russian and I'm Orthodox and I come from Latvia. So girls are getting married before they're 25, and this is a standard for my culture. Whether like you're happy or not in your marriage, it doesn't really bother anybody. So what happens then, uh, I started questioning myself. It's like, oh my God, everything that I've been taught, it's like what kind of a woman I am. All of these kind of things become, and for men, guys who are here on webinar also, you have your own conditionings. And I'm working actually quite a lot with the guys too, and I have got a men's group called Creating Kings. You feel very free to join that. So men have got a different conditioning to us, and I'm saying this like not in any way to like blame anybody, but I'm just like sharing all these experiences to actually bring the attention of how our programming, uh, childhood programming, actually creates the reality for us in our adulthood right now, right? And like working with many guys, they have got belief system that that they have to try harder, that they're not free to express themselves, that that they have to also please women, that it's like that they have no choice, and very, very many guys, you know, is just like going through their life by those beliefs. And it's like one of my clients, uh, he actually, as we discovered, he came to me because he just broke off with his long-term uh, um, relationships, from his long-term relationships, and we have been working on like what was not working. So basically, because he found that it has been really difficult for him to express his emotions, that it has been really difficult for him to tell his partner how he feels, because it was not available to him, right? That he had to fix everything around him, you know, that he could not let go of control, and constantly being worried about what other people think about him. So that was the major problems for him. And actually, he just sent me a testimonial the other day about that, after our work together. So we actually signed up for 4 months, but after like 2 months, he said, like, listen, I'm in a great place. I'm just happy as I am right now. So, and I asked him, so what has changed? And he was like, oh my God, so what has changed? I'm no longer taking responsibility for what other people think about me. I no longer take responsibility for making sure that everything around me works, because like that was a huge part of him letting go of control. And actually, like, simple things as, you know, having friends round for dinner, he had to do it all himself and he could never ask for help. So how that plays up in the relationship, that we always try to fix things ourselves. But you know, I have to fix myself and then show up and be strong, because like we don't feel comfortable on actually showing how vulnerable we are. And this is like a massive thing for being intimate. If you cannot show your vulnerability to your partner, to your lover, how do you expect like create an authentic, deep connection with someone you love? Because intimacy, and it's like even the word into me you see, so you allow the other person to see into your soul, which very often, you know, are not only like great and amazing stuff, although showing great and amazing stuff and like actually sharing your desires can be so difficult and can be so vulnerable. So sometimes we actually prefer to share our fears, you know, but then again, it's like uh, coming to the point of being real with one another and just actually being incredibly authentic, that feeds our soul. And communication is the big part of that. You know what? I'm like, just keep on going so much about this. And none of that has been actually scripted on my list. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna flow with what's happening right now. And but let me just check in and see what is happening. Right. Right. So I'm gonna just quickly swing back to three secrets, right? So it's like, so far covered old story and core beliefs that actually shape our relationships right now, and actually what is available to you when you are recreating that story, that you are like, because many of you can ask is like, okay, so what can happen when I, like, what can I do about this? Like, so what, am I doomed now for life? This is like what actually happened with me, like when I was learning about all of this stuff and exploring about all of this stuff. Is like, okay, so I have my core beliefs, like my family was fucked up, you know, how do I move forward from here? What do I do? Just tell me, let me do this. And you know, part of that was, it's like, wow, um I really have to take responsibility for my life. And actually, what have never, ever, ever been available to me before, even the idea of this was not available to me before, that I have a choice. Right now, my clients, they know they have a choice. You have a choice. How do you want to live your life? You have a choice on how do you want to create your life. Because before, it's like when you are operating on those belief systems that you have created as a child, like now as an adult, let's be honest, you already have outgrown it. You already are realizing that there are some things that are holding you back. And have you ever felt this way, that when you want something but you feel that you're so close to it, but something invisible like kind of holding you back from it? Have ever happened to you? Because like that has been the bloody pattern of my life. It's like, Jesus, I can see it, I can smell it, but I cannot quite touch it. It's like something gets in the way. So, and this invisible stuff, I will tell you right now, is your core beliefs. It's your belief system that is holding you back from actually getting what you want. Like, and this actually applies not only for your relationships, but it also applies for your uh, other areas of your life, but I'm not going to go into that today. So how to deal with that again is attend to your belief system. And I can tell you that it's very, I wouldn't say it's simple, and I wouldn't say it's easy. It is really demanding work, because not many people actually willing to go that deep and that far, because you have to actually face a few skeletons in your closet to reach them, and like actually acknowledge them that they're there without making them right or wrong, so that you can create your new possibility of being, that you can create a new possibility for yourself on how do you choose to live your life. Because let's be honest, if the choice has not been available to you before, because you've been running on all of these subconscious programs, you just didn't have a choice. It was the way it was. That's it. And creating the resentment, disconnection, and it's like some patterns that kept on playing out in your life. You didn't have a choice. So when you learn uh, about all of those systems, and when you learn about all of those belief systems, you can actually recreate a new belief system. And this is actually what I'm specializing in with my clients, recreating the belief system and making sure that you are congruent to your new belief system, and that you act in alignment with your desires, with your boundaries, with your wishes, and your soul. So that, because I'm passionate about creating more pleasure, and there is nothing more fulfilling than acting in alignment and receiving your heart's desires that are aligned with you, that is easy, and oh, for sure, some of that would bring like some stuff up, because like it's all about, again, self-worth. And it's like, how can you be absolutely open to receiving to what you really want? Because that actually has been one of my biggest fears, that I have feared receiving what I want, because like I've been used to abuse all my life. What you mean, like some like amazing man gonna love me? That feels like way too out there for me. It's like it's way out of my comfort zone. It used to be, right? But not anymore. Because when you learn to really connect with your true desire. You create a standard for yourself that you don't wish go beyond, like beyond. So you can go above, but not beyond. So there's a really important energetical standard of what you are really willing to accept in your life, and how is that showing up. Because what happens also when people set those energetical standards, it means that you actually have to show up as your best version of yourself, and actually not being um, not accepting anything less than what you want. And for that you have to set boundaries, and most of the people don't even know what boundaries are. Do you guys know what boundaries are and how to set them? Just comment, yes. That takes courage and accepting responsibility. Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, let's see. Sure do learn the hard way. Yep. But sometimes I know what they are. Okay, so you have an idea of what they are, but it's like setting the boundaries is like kind of other kind of game, right? Other kind of conversation. Pardon me. So uh, that was one of my difficulties being had for me. Okay. Sometimes implementing is hard. For sure, implementing is hard, especially if you are not used to it. Because, like, again, when I was growing up, there was no boundaries in my household. There was um, like simple things, like my mom kept on walking into the bathroom when I was having shower. We didn't have lock on our shower, in our bathroom, so my mom always kept on walking in when I was having like a bath or a shower. So I like my personal space always been invaded, like always. So it kind of became a normal thing. Like this is something that people just do. People just disrespect my boundaries. People just disrespect my space, and it became a normal thing, even though it didn't feel good. So what was happening, it just became normal. It just became normal, and actually snapping out of this normal is absolutely um, challenging work, because you have to hold yourself together. And what happens, Matt says, resonate with that. Yeah, because what happens that all of those like thoughts coming in is like, oh my god, but what if I'm gonna say no to people, and they're gonna think that I'm this and I'm that. Oh, but because we are so conditioned, people can just like do whatever without any consideration for us. And like, let's be honest, I am the center of my universe. I care about me. I care mostly about me. Yes, I care about my loved ones, but mainly I care about me. So when I'm gonna ask something like from anybody, they have got the free will to tell me yes or no. But what happens then is that is that you know many people don't feel that they have got a choice. And I used to be like one of those people who felt that I don't have a choice, so I would do things out of obligation. And doing things out of obligation, especially in a relationship, especially in pleasure and intimacy in your sex life, it is a no go, because you are not doing any favors, not to yourself, not to your loved ones. So let me just see. Sam says, our old ways can feel so comfortable, it can be challenging to maintain the new boundaries. For sure, it's practice, practice, practice. How to define the difference between comfort and your truth? Um, when I ask myself what is my truth, it usually feels really clear to me. But comfort feels that I'm just playing it safe, you know? Like, um, the example would be, uh, okay, let me just think of the example. Okay, I want uh, to have, I want to ask my lover to just caress my body and just like give me an oral pleasure. But because it could be so vulnerable to ask, I just would ask for a foot massage because this is comfort. When really, in reality, all I want him to give me an oral sex. Does this make sense? Because like, oh my God, what can happen if I gonna really ask for what I want? Then I might be rejected for that. And it's like, it's better to be rejected for a foot massage than for an oral sex. Right. So these are the things I feel that we have covered quite a lot here. So tell me, did you learn something today? Was this useful to you so far? It's not over yet, by the way. It's not over yet. So Maria says, yes. So, actually, I want to say, if you feel that you would like to have a private conversation with me about anything that I have shared with you today, I would absolutely love to invite you uh, to book a free call with me. I would absolutely love to see where are you in your journey in life and if I can support you. So here's the link where you can actually book a call with me. But also I've been sharing. So let me just do a quick recap what we have covered so far, because I think that would be useful. So far we have covered how important love, intimacy, and relationships are in our life, and that is a real and it's a real currency right now, right? Our intimate connections and interactions. And by not having those, it causes us resentment, unhappiness, lack of sex, and blame, and all kinds of negative emotions. And in many cases, putting on weight, depression is all connected to that. Right. So we have to show up in our full power to be able to communicate ourselves authentically, our desires. Very often, not very often, always, our reality is run by our old stories that we have created in our past based on core beliefs that we have learned before we were 5 years old from people who have been our role models, who are our parents, right? And so Elisa is asking, can you talk more about sensuality? So sensuality, Elisa, is a way of your self-expression, right? So it's like your connection to your senses, and how do you feel comfortable expressing that? So what is stopping you from expressing that is most of the time is judgments of okay, let me just see. So lack of self-expression in our sensuality is actually fear of judgment or shame or guilt, right? And again, it has been installed in us by our by our examples in our childhood. Like, for example, I'm walking naked in my house and I love being naked and it's like amazing, right? And then my mom calls me and she's like, "Oh, Eugina, are you naked?" "Yes, I'm naked." "Oh, put something on. This is like, I'm like, why would I put something on? I want to be naked. It's hot. uh, no, but it's like more acceptable, but like more acceptable for whom? Because you see, again, we have been programmed that sex, sensuality, our sensual self-expression is something bad, it's something shameful, it's something sinful. But tell me this, how are you prepared to explore the most orgasmic experiences if you feel ashamed of your sensuality, if you feel ashamed of your body, if you feel ashamed or or you feel guilty? Because there is another thing that some of our beliefs, like I worked with this woman and she was so wanting to explore sexuality and sensuality and just being like, oh my God, yes, I'm so ready. But every single time when she would go for the experience that she desired, something bad would happen to her. Like she would um, like bad in terms of like physically bad, that she would dislocate her foot or something like that. And when we were working, I was like, what is this? What are your beliefs around this? What does this pain has for you? It's like, tell me now. And she had a belief that when she has fun, when she like really experiences herself and explores herself, then she would be punished. And she was getting the punishment every single time and she would express her sensuality. So what I'm saying, like, what um, overall, right? This old story, your core beliefs that you have accumulated as a child, they actually are spread all over your life and all over your life patterns, right? And it's like sensuality as well as relationships, because you would have the similar type of beliefs, like in your self-expression of your sensuality, you will have beliefs about sex, you will have beliefs about relationships, and so on and so forth. And those beliefs essentially that are holding you back. Okay, so let me see. I'm resonating with this. Okay, I'm resonating with this since I put weight on. I don't go around naked as much now since I became bigger. Right, right. And there is a reason for you to put on weight. And I believe that one of the reasons could be um, um, emotional disalignment, or maybe lack in something. It's like when we're lacking in some area of our life, it's like I put on weight when I was lacking emotional connection, when I was lacking understanding, when I was lacking intimacy. I put on weight because I didn't have that. I had to substitute that with something else. So Sam says, super useful. Thank you so much. Would you say that it's good to start with asking something more comfortable, like a foot massage, and build up to more uncomfortable tasks? I would say, get in a habit, not even in a habit, but yeah, get comfortable with asking. And of course, asking like with the things, because you see, simple things as, right, I've been working with this person and they were so resistant to receiving, that they were like, they would come and sit like on the sofa watching TV, whatever, and their partner would come and would be like, "Hey, so would you like a glass of water? Would you like a tea? Would you like this? Would you like that?" No, no, I'm fine. It's like, "Hey, I've got an apple here. Would you like an apple?" And they would be like, "No, no, I don't want anything." And then 2 minutes later, they would get up, go and get what they wanted themselves, right? So this is a very, and what happens, that creates disconnection, because your partner, your lover, whoever, you know, one night stand, whoever that is, friend, family, they feel that they're not useful to you. They're not useful to you. So for you to ask somebody to help you with something or to give you something, it will actually create a space for you to um, connect, for them to feel useful, that they can do something for you. You know, that you actually opening up to the vulnerability of asking and feel rejected, because this is a possibility also, right? Sam, does this answer your question? So yes, starting with the like smaller things, and then moving in a more like touchy feely territory would be the way forward for sure. So if we are not receiving, we are rejecting them. um well, I have a really like different view on rejection, because what happens with rejection, right, it is when I'm operating within my boundaries, I have the opportunity, like, and I have a choice to say yes or a no. So I've been at this event, I shall say, a very kinky one. So there was like this man, he always wanted to serve me. He was like, "But let me serve you, but let me serve you, but let me serve you, but let me serve you." And I was like, "No, I don't want to be served by you." And it's like nothing against like you or whatever, but I just don't desire to be served by you. And that is my right, and this is my choice. So when sometimes we feel that something is presented to us, we just have to grab it, because again, we are worried about offending somebody's feelings. And what I teach, that our like what other people's journey, it's not our responsibility. It's like you have a choice, you have a choice to say yes or a no, and this is your right. So do they have got a choice to say yes or a no, to offer you or not. And if they choose to offer you, it is also a possibility that the answer could be a no, and it's okay if you don't feel it. But if you really want it and you're saying no, then you out of integrity to yourself. Does this make sense? And also, if you want something and you are not asking for what you really want, you know, and you like, and sometimes it takes like gradually elevating to the asking exactly for the thing you want. But if you're like, uh, want a coffee, but you like, "Oh yeah, tea would do," then you out of integrity to yourself also. You know what I mean? Perfect. So Francesca says, so true. Okay, yes, it is indeed, 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 indeed. So look, I have been so like excited to share this with you guys and girls, and I'm so happy, you know, that you all came here and been here so far. But you know, I I wouldn't want you to take only my word for this, you know, for this work that I'm doing and the results that we are having. And actually, since some of my participants in my group program are here today, I asked them if they would be so kind to share their experience with you. And not many, maybe only 2 or 3 girls. Would that be okay with you? Girls, are you still up for that? Elisa, Maria, Sam, T. Are you okay? Are you okay to come on camera with me and share a little bit about your experiences? Because I find that it's actually really amazing, you know, to see who would like and explore other people's experiences. So, Sam, I am just going to bring you on camera and just ask you a couple of questions. So, here you are coming on. This is the first time I'm doing this, okay? So this is like super exciting. Oh, okay, where is she? There she is. Oh. Da-da-da. Oh, I think you need to switch on your camera.
Can you hear me, lovely?
Oh, I can hear you, yes, but I cannot
Great.
see you
I
though.
can't seem to get my camera on. 1 second. You cannot start your video because the host has stopped it.
Oh, well, I'm gonna make you a host then.
Okay, great. Does that work? Let's have a little look. There we go. Hi.
Hey, how's it going? And great.
Really good. Thank you. Really good. How are you?
Amazing, amazing.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, thank you so much for agreeing to come on and just share a little bit about your experience and just like really like a couple of questions I would love to ask. Um, you now joined the 3 Secrets to Fulfilling Relationship program.
Yeah.
And what have encouraged you to join the program?
Your work. I've been watching your work for a good couple of years, and your energy. And also I've done quite a bit of work in small groups, and I just kind of felt that was going to be a really interesting group of women to be in. And also I've been single for a year now, and I'm ready to really explore what kind of relationship I want. I feel like it's really time to dive deep on that. So yeah, when we spoke, I was straight in, I believe.
So beautiful. Thank you. And I'm so happy you're straight in.
Me too, honey.
And tell me, what are the benefits? I know that the program is not over yet, but it's like, what benefits are you experiencing? And it's like, are there any benefits? Like,
Yeah, of course there are. It's definitely a deep dive. It's not an easy process. But I think being in a group of amazing women, the biggest thing so far has been the support within the group. I've found it absolutely amazing, and how open everyone is, and the really safe, supportive space that you've created. That was instant, actually. As soon as we were on our first call, I felt that. So that's definitely a huge benefit. And the work that we're doing as well, I'm uncovering stuff that I haven't come across so far. And you know, when you go into these programs, you think, I've already done quite a bit of work, but there's new stuff coming up that's becoming really clear and really helpful, and just sort of clarifying some of the past patterns really, really well. So it's amazing.
wow, that's incredible, incredible. And what do you think? What difference in your life it is making?
It's really making me think about how I treat myself, actually. Like some of the exercises, sort of like dressing to impress, and dancing, and I've done all that sort of stuff before, but never really thought about, it's just for me rather than anyone else. And then there's one exercise in particular where we look at our fears that I found really interesting, and challenging, but very helpful, just to sort of really pick out that I've still got all these fears, and just releasing them is, I think, going to be, really powerful.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Sam. Thank
Oh,
you.
you're so welcome, darling. Thank you.
Wow. I I think that I need to become a host again.
Okay, sweetie. This Zoom malarkey is a work in progress for everyone.
Oh my gosh, yeah, for sure.
Shall I stop my video? Would that be useful?
Yeah, I
Let me
think
see if I can. Yeah, I've done that. Okay, and I'll mute myself. Thank you, lovely.
Thank you so much. Right. Okay. I think that I need to be able to claim my host spot, but I'm not really sure how to do that. Sam, if you hear me, maybe you can do that.
Hang on, lovely. I've just found something. Let me see. It says, who can share? If I put only host, does that help?
No. Oh my gosh, talking about like, I thought that I got it all handled before, but clearly not.
It's fine, honey. I've been using Zoom for teaching Pilates, and it's an interesting beast.
Yeah. So I've been doing this all morning today, but clearly not enough, hey? Wow. This is very, very interesting. Is there a place where I can actually
have a look in more? You can go live on Facebook, apparently. Right. What is this share one? No, I don't want to share a whole screen.
I can see reclaim host. Got it.
You got it? Brilliant.
Yeah. My God, every day I'm learning something more. Okay, so I'm gonna put you back to attendee. Thank you so much. And now I would love to ask Elisa to join me. I think this one will be much easier to reclaim back. Okay, let's see. Oh.
Yeah,
Hi,
hold
Lisa.
on. Hello, hold on. It's written. Do you see me?
Not yet.
Okay, I will try. I see that video.
Okay, here you are.
Okay, you should be able to activate the video for me because I can't do by myself. It's written.
Yeah, I think you should be able now.
Okay. Yeah, good.
Hey, how are you?
Hello, I'm so good. Do you see me well? Is it okay? I will turn
Yes, can see you very well.
Good.
Oh,
Good,
you
good.
look amazing.
Thank you. Thanks for this.
Oh, and thank you for this. Thanks so much for agreeing to come and join me and just like share a little bit about your experience, because I find it really, really valuable. So would you tell me, please, what encouraged you to join the program?
What I think I could say two things. First of all, I was in a relation in the last season, and I had some hurting things inside, and we have like a discovery call together. And just with this discovery call, I was like, ugh. I just like so understand so many things with that I was going through, and I was like, oh my God, I want to have one day a time to go deeper in this. I was not able at that time, so now I have the time and the opportunity to do it. So I was really curious to go in any kind of process, because I feel that the second point is I love your vibe. I'm just like, I love your vibe, and I feel that you're kind of an example for me, like the way you express. I don't say that you're perfect because I don't know you enough, and we're never perfect, but I just like the confidence. You are like in French, an emblem of confidence, and it's like, okay, and just by a few words, it's like click click click, I'm getting there, I understand. It's like, okay. So that was the why I wanted to go in this in a process, any kind of process. I was ready for that. And because also I leave my boyfriend last month, so I had to understand a lot of things, patterns and stuff like this.
Beautiful. And tell me, what are you discovering so far?
Okay, I could say a few things that I discovered that I know that I understand now that I give my power to others. Definitely, I was more fascinated by others than my own person. I see, because we write a lot of things. We go in each relation we were, and I see, like, I give to everyone because I'm not feeling enough. I was not feeling enough. So I discovered that I have a lot of qualities and potential, and I'm a lovable person.
Yeah.
And I understand it better. It's like strange also to name it in front of people. I don't know, but it's okay because it's true. So this is one of the biggest thing I discovered, I could say. And the other good point is, we really attract the situation we live in. Maybe sometimes it's not clear, but by example, to give an example to people, is like, I was really feeling insecure last summer with my ex-boyfriend, and I came to visit him, and we didn't see each other for a while. But I was passing through like kind of a small depression, like burnout. I was not feeling good, so insecure. But I didn't really know that I was insecure. I was just feeling not so pretty, and I decided to share that with him, and to have like his feedback, like, oh no babe, you're pretty, and I didn't receive that. So okay. And another day I was with him, and he was looking as of the other girls walking in the street and talking about bodies and this and this, and I was like shocked, because I was like, okay, you show me bodies, other bodies, and I tell you that I'm not comfortable with this, and he said, oh, why do you put yourself lower? And I was like, a little bit. But so this is just an example. And when I told you that, Eugenia, when I do my homework, I see that I was feeling really, really insecure. And every situation I had with him was showing me my insecurity. I found proof in every detail because I was looking for proof that he was preferring other bodies than mine. So I see that I build this, not consciously. I see just that I was in this mode, and that was happening to me because I was in this mode. It's not like against him. It's not what I mean. But yeah, this is like, okay, wow, we have to be careful of what we think inside. Maybe I should at that time ask him help for that, instead of, hey, I'm okay, and shaking like this, So that was it's a long story again, but I have a lot of details every time. But it's me also. So yeah.
Amazing. And tell me, how does things that you learn on this program helps you right now?
In just like a week, we have one calls together that was really, really helpful. And then I start the 3-week program with the intensive with the group. So I could see that I see more myself. And when I was writing the thing, I was saying that, oh my God, I live so many situations that hurts me. I see all the heavy thing. Sometimes it's small, sometimes it's big, but write it. And it's like, okay, my God, I had a lot of things that I went through and I didn't catch it. And I could understand why sometimes I have every feeling and I don't know why. And I could understand why some parts of me repeat. So to see that, it's like, okay, girls, you need just like to accept, to put some cream on it. You have to heal this. And just writing also my who I am and why I am a good person and all the good qualities I am. It's like I feel more. I feel that I could reach what I want, and I understand a little bit more how I could put boundaries that I never put before. So little detail of what I learned. But I have a list if you want, but
That's
I don't want to take an hour.
It's
So that's it.
incredible, incredible. Starting putting boundaries. This is a massive, massive way forward.
Don't know how yet, but I know that I will do.
Right, right. And Elisa, what would you say to people who are like maybe thinking it's like, would that be something for them to explore?
The only thing, and it's the easy thing, and it's also it's also easy because it's free for the first time, and just like taking just like a step by taking a call with you, because just name something in this call to talk about something in this call, like we could feel your touch, we could feel if we could work together. So I felt at that point the connection, and I was like, I already tried other people, like in a free discovery session. That was fine. That was okay, that was okay, but that was not like I need it, But for some people it's okay, it's cool. But maybe for others, like, okay, I wanna save myself. I wanna live a happy life. That's my tips. Just
Amazing.
try to do a free one.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Elisa. Thank you. I really appreciate you sharing your story and sharing yourself so openly. You're very, very generous. And yeah.
Thank you.
I will.
Yes.
I will invite Maria now. Thank you so much for your share. All right. So, Maria, I will invite you now on camera. Hey, hey, hey.
Can you see me?
No, cannot see you. Let me just do this. Okay. Yeah, I think you can change them.
No? Yeah.
Yay.
Hello.
Hey. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Love seeing you smile for sure.
Yeah.
So Maria, thank you so much for agreeing to share a little bit about your story and yeah, really be here. I really, really appreciate that. So I'd love to ask you, me and you, we worked like privately and now in a group, and I would just really want to ask you, why have you decided to work with me?
Yeah, so I found you summer last year, when I did the self-love challenge. And when I did that challenge, that helped me a lot. I started saying lots of things. I started getting to know you as well. And then I started doing the course as well. And then I realized that I resonated a lot with you, with the way you explain things and your experiences, the things you went through, all of that. So when I started that program, I realized, I don't know if you remember our first big call, like I had a lot of anger inside of me, like I had a lot of unresolved issues. And so I think it was in November that we had this call that it was really good about trying to see where the anger was coming from, and discovering my core beliefs. And that call, I think it was like 3 hours that we were on the phone. Yeah. And that was amazing. I felt so much relief only just after that day, that was really good. And then after that, I think it was in December that we started doing a one-to-one. And I was going through a lot of pain. I don't know if you remember. I was going through a lot of pain because things were not working well for me. And that helped me a lot. Like, you really, really supported me and really helped me a lot to get some clarity. And it was a very difficult time for me. And I felt like I needed to keep working on myself, because things don't get resolved in just a few months, or at least not in my case. So that's why I decided to join the intensive course this time, so I could keep working with yourself and I could keep doing the work that is so important for me. So that's why I decided to work with you. Yeah.
Beautiful. And tell me, what are your experiences so far? What are you learning? Like, what is helpful for you?
For me, it's more like you are helping me so much to reframe things that I believe that are not working for me and that are causing me so much pain. I think for me that has been the most important thing, like to realize that how my beliefs are not working for me anymore in relationships, and how I need to, is what you were explaining in the call today, how I need to create new beliefs aligned with those beliefs. And I think that is so difficult for me, like you can understand that, but you need to then implement that. And I feel that you really supported me in that, the good thing about working with you one-to-one is like you are always available, and you can always, I can always message you and this is happening and you give me an answer and all of that. So that's very good. You feel that you are not alone. You feel that you are not alone. And I know it was a very difficult process. It was so difficult. So for me, that's the main thing. For example, learning about boundaries. I think when I started working with you, I had no clue about boundaries. It was like it was like horrible. And I feel now like I feel more empowered to set up boundaries, even though I feel really scared and I still go through some difficulties with this, but stepping up into that power, right? And you helping me to really discover my self-worth, and my power, like to be in my power. Yeah.
You're really powerful, like really powerful. Yeah. You just actually come into alignment and you're doing absolutely fantastic work. Absolutely fantastic. So
Thank you.
Privileged to be working with you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Eugina, for all your help and support.
And thank you for showing up.
You're welcome.
All right, Maria, thanks so much for sharing your story. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna... And I would love to invite T to come and join me now. And I'm calling her T because I can never pronounce her name right. Great. Absolutely incredible woman. Okay, let me see. I need to give you the host thing. Make a host. Here you are. So I think you need to unmute yourself and switch on the video. And this is a great.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how are you? I'm doing great. How are you?
Yeah, doing fantastic.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you so much for coming on camera and just.
I'm so excited. Yeah.
Especially knowing that like a week ago, being on camera wasn't no.
That would never happen before a week, actually. For me to be okay sitting in front of the camera, this is like was one of the hugest challenge for me. So I'm so grateful for you. Yeah.
And now we're like, give me that camera. Where is the camera?
Yes. Yes, I'm so excited as well. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much for joining me. And I would really love to ask is like, why did you decide to join the program?
Well, three things. First of all, I have attended with you the 3 secrets of unleashing the correct me if I'm wrong with the name, the desires relations, right?
3 secrets to fulfilling relationships.
Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
And a massive shift happened to me. I've been working with myself with healing the inner child for a very long time. And this massive shift happening. And after that, there was a lot of massive shifts happening. Was the first reason. The second reason that you're my friend, I know you as a friend, and I saw you in real life how you're always like confident, authentic, sexy, and you're always like expressing freely. And I really wanted that. And I was like, okay, after especially the course, the three secret, I'm like, okay, she's the one who can help me to achieve my goal.
Mm.
The third thing that I really want to be in love or in a relation, and that was like one of the biggest challenge. I always like having a toxic relation, and I'm so ready to be in the relation that I'm deserving.
Mm.
Yes, these
So
are the three.
beautiful. So beautiful. And tell me, what are you learning right now? Like what is helping you?
Well, as I said, there is a lot of massive shifts, not one, not two, not three, a lot. And every day I'm more confident, I'm more happy. I have like more self love, and like every day. And also, like the homeworks, I'm going deep. Yes, I always do the inner child healing, but this, like, I feel different. I can see more myself, and I see myself like moving on,
Mm.
moving forward. And this is so amazing. I'm so grateful for that. And also the being with a group with the women, and like we share together, and sometimes I don't remember, and they talk about something, and all we overcome all our fears or our challenges. This is something I always like having a passion to do. And
Mm.
thank you for like helping me to achieve this. This is so basic, actually.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, so exciting. It's so exciting. And thanks for
Yes,
showing
it is.
up. Thank you for
Thank
sharing
you.
up. And tell
Thank
me,
you.
what would you say to people who are thinking, "Oh, is this for me? Shall I give it a go?" Like,
I'll tell them, just don't think about it, because, like, if you remember, we had the call. I had this feeling that, oh, maybe this is not the thing that I want. I don't want to be in relation right now. I want to focus more in self love and self healing. And here, where the second shift happened, the second massive shift happened when we talked with the free call. You explained to me that actually to reach the relation that I want, or my desires, is by loving myself. And this is what we're doing in the core, in the intensive, you know. Yes, and this was amazing, actually. And I thank you so much for like explaining that to me, because otherwise, if I just depend on that idea, I wouldn't be here today, which is
mm,
amazing. Yeah.
mm. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much. And
you.
it's so
Thank
great to
you.
see you on camera, smiling, so vibrant.
Yes, I made it.
Yeah, and sharing yourself authentically. This is like, wow.
Yes, yes. This is one of my challenges, and
Yeah.
every day I'm being more authentic. And this is amazing, actually, for like taking the chance. This is like a great opportunity, this intensive, that you have the challenge and you have the support and the love, not only like by you, Eugenia, by everybody. And you're always there to like supporting and pushing us. And yes, and this is amazing. Actually, I'm so pleased.
Thank you so
Yes,
much, darling. Thank you.
thank
I
you.
really,
Thank
really
you so
enjoyed
much.
having you on the group, and it's a
Yeah.
pleasure and an honor having my friend and incredible woman,
Yeah.
like
Thank
taking a
you.
stand for herself. It's so awesome. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Right, I'm gonna take the video off. Thank you.
All right.
Right. So, ladies, gentlemen, this this is the first time I actually have invited participants of my group to actually share their experiences with a bigger group. So this is a new experience for me. And ladies, thank you so much for sharing yourself so authentically. I really, really appreciate that. And what I want to say, if you are resonating with like any of the experiences I have shared today, with any of the experiences that the ladies have shared today, and you're curious about, hey, how I can actually create a difference in my life, what is possible for me, and if you just thinking about what possibilities I can create, what choices I can create that gonna make my life better, like what gonna make my life more juicy, more fulfilling, will create more love and connection in my life, I would love to invite you to book a call with me. You know, let's talk about it. And it doesn't have to be like leading to anything, but actually having a conversation and getting clear on your desires, what you want, and what is stopping you from getting that. That would be the first step to your transformation. And I would absolutely love to know more about you. I would absolutely love to get to know you better. So here's the link I just posted in the in the group, but I don't. Oh yeah. So you can absolutely go online and just book a call with me. It's an hour call and it's absolutely free. So, and if I have anything that I can offer you in terms of support or advice, or perhaps I know somebody who does, you know, have a support or an advice for you that I don't, I will absolutely put you in touch with them soon. But meanwhile, I would love to thank you for being here, for being present, for staying till the end. It's absolutely incredible to have you. And thank you so much for giving me your time. I really appreciate it, and I'm not taking that for granted. And ladies, I'm thanking you so much for coming and joining me. And if you have got any questions, you can absolutely message me on Facebook, or you can absolutely ask them on our free call if you like. All right, meanwhile, lots of love. Stay absolutely positive, be loved, be creative, you know, connect with yourself, love yourself more, because the only person you're gonna have relationship till the rest of your life, the only one, is you. So thank you so much, ladies. Lots of love. So bye for now.